Oh, you have to unmute yourself, Lynette. Sorry, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I did, but it didn't click it.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
let's
okay.
try that again. Good morning, guys. My name is Lynette. I am a staff paralegal in the Eviction Prevention Unit at Legal Assistance of Western New York. And I'm here just to share some information about what tenants' rights are and what excuse me, what you can do as far as preventing homelessness. I'm gonna put up a slideshow here. Let me know if you guys can see. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see that.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Again, so I'm Lynette. I'm staff paralegal, and I also handle benefits here at Law New York. I want to talk about eviction prevention, and I know typically people save the questions for last. I don't mind if you guys want to stop and interrupt me and ask questions. I don't mind at all. So I don't know what system you guys have set up, raise your hand or whatever, but feel free to ask if you have any questions during the presentation. So here we at Law New York, eviction prevention is top priority because home is home base for people. You know, without that home base, it kind of throws everything else off.
Lynette, sorry to interrupt. We can't see your slideshow right now. We only can see your Zoom screen. If you could just click on, there you go. Now we can see it.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Sorry about that, guys. Let me see if I can, well, no, I was going to try and switch it to my other screen, but we'll just leave it there. So, like I was saying, you know, we try to eviction prevention or homelessness is we try to prevent it because without a home base, having a home base gives you that foundation, and not having it or having it in jeopardy, it kind of throws everything else off. So it's kind of, it's important. It's very important to be informed and know your rights. A lot of people think that, you know, oh, I didn't pay my rent this month. Oh, I'm going to get evicted. I'm going to get evicted. That's not the case. I'm sorry. Let me just move this over here. Can you still see my share screen?
Yeah, we can see it perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you know, a lot of people think, oh no, I didn't pay my rent this month. Something came up, and I'm going to be evicted the next day. The main thing we want people to know it's a process, and landlords try to use intimidation tactics. That's not something that can happen overnight. It is a process that does need to go through the courts, and paperwork has to be served, and it has to be done in a certain way, and everything has to be, there's a process that needs to be followed, and without that process, there is no eviction. So we are finding nowadays that landlords do try to, you know, change locks, turn water off, turn lights off, just do, we just call them intimidation tactics to try to get the tenant out of there. And a lot of times, unfortunately, they do succeed, which is why we want to put in, you know, as much information out there for the public so that they can be informed and know that, you know, don't let these landlords bully you. Things happen, bills get behind, but there are ways to prevent you from being evicted. There are ways to prevent people from being homeless. There's up on the screen, you're going to see some things that have to do with like public benefits or getting assistance, or because they kind of go hand in hand. If someone is struggling, lost your job, or you lost hours at your job, that can affect your home and how how your bills are paid, and you being able to pay your rent in a timely manner. So there are programs that we have out there we partner with different agencies in our community to connect clients with the help that they need. If, you know, be it if you do want to move, but you don't quite have the money to put a security deposit down, we have agencies that are willing to assist with security deposit or first month's rent. Or, I mean, we can even find people that need, you know, you need a sofa, you need a refrigerator. There's a lot of resources within the community that we are connected with to prevent people from, you know, having to go through these things, to keep you from being homeless, to keep you from going without. If let's say a landlord you missed a few months of rent, and the landlord has begun the proceeding of eviction process. The first thing that they're going to do is they're going to present you with a 14-day pay or quit notice. Like I said, eviction is a process. Without key elements being done correctly, it's called an ineffective service. So if there's no 14-day notice served, if there's no process server that served the paperwork on you in a timely manner and serve the correct person, an 18-year-old person in the household, there has to be certain steps that are followed, and without, they can't skip them, which a lot of landlords try to skip them because they just want to get to the end result, and without going through the proper channels, it's not an illegal eviction. It's considered an illegal eviction or an illegal lockout. So once the 14-day notice has been served, then they'll serve what's called the petition, and that notice of petition, and that notice is what will say your landlord's taking you to court due to, be it non-pay. There's two different kinds of evictions. There's a non-pay and there's a holdover. Non-pay is pretty self-explanatory. If you missed a couple of months of rent, that's considered a non-pay. The landlord can take you to court for that. There's no really, some landlords go after 1 month of missed rent, and some landlords let it go for 2-3 months. There's no guideline for that. It's all up to, if the landlord wants to do it on month 1, or he wants to wait and try to give you a couple of months to get caught up. The other eviction is called a holdover. When you are in a contract or what's called a lease with your landlord, and the terms of that lease have run out, if the landlord chooses not to renew and wants you to just give up remove yourself from the property and return the keys back to them, that's called a holdover proceeding. And in New York State, they don't really have to have a reason. They can just say, I don't want to renew it, and not renew your lease. And then if you can either work with the landlord and work out a move out date, or they can take you to court to have you removed from the premises. Those typically aren't, you don't see much of those, because typically if you and your landlord have a good relationship or a good standing, then they're not going to want to evict you, because they don't want to go through the process of interviewing new people and having new people come in to the unit. So and usually we see, if there's a holdover, it's because the landlord and the tenant don't get along. There's some kind of disagreement or misunderstanding with them. Let me see what else we got here. So I mentioned that I do public benefits as well, and that's just to say that's just one of the ways that we try to prevent our clients from getting evicted. Again, be it whatever their needs are, if they need food, if they need whatever's needed, we try to find a way to get it. But I do specialize in public benefits, SNAP, temporary assistance. That's one of the ways that we try to help our clients to avoid eviction. For our agency, we have different requirements. We have different grants that we're funded through state, city, county. We get a lot of funding from different funding sources. And depending on the type of case that we have, they're either ESG, right to counsel, STEP, homelessness prevention. There's different, and that's kind of getting into the nitty gritty of things, which is probably more than you guys need to know. But our funding, we do get funding from different sources, and which allows us to have such a wide scope of resources for people because of the different funding that we have. So we have what we call an umbrella, and under that umbrella we have our 4 legal aid agencies, which is Legal Aid Society of Rochester, Legal Assistance of Western New York, Just Cause, and Empire Justice. And we all pretty much do the same thing. Some of us overlap. We don't handle family law, but legal aid does. So some of it overlaps, which is why we paired up with the 4 of them. But the biggest thing that we do is eviction prevention. we're partnered in we're all partnered up under the Tenant Defense Project, VLSP, which is now they're called Just Cause. They're the ones who kind of coordinate everything for us. But we also do intakes and in court, but the best way to get in contact with us and the easiest way to get in contact with us is through the Tenant Defense Project. We have a website, tenantdefense.org. Our phone number, 585-504-6195. Like I said, we show up in court. Landlord tenant court is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we flip flop with legal aid. Right now, we handle the morning time and legal aid handles the afternoon. But we don't want it to, we don't encourage people to let things go to the extent where you have to call the tenant defense, because you might have a court case coming. If you see something coming down the line, down the pipeline, you want to get in front of it as soon as possible. So we encourage people to call, the sooner the better. Just so we can, because it takes time to get to know the person, the case, the details of the case, and how we can best assist. So we encourage you guys to call. Like I said, the earlier the better. Our main intake line, 585-325-2520. We have intake callers or intake paralegals taking calls all day long. They can get you to speak to an advocate. They can get you to speak to our on-call advocate, which is really helpful. We always have someone assigned. It's usually an attorney, and clients can call and get direct advice from an advocate from our agency. I'm trying to make sure I covered all my bases. I apologize if that's me. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically the gist of eviction prevention. With you guys, feel free to ask away any questions. The gist of it is you do have rights. A lot of people do not know what those rights are. We encourage you to reach out. Landlords, right? With COVID, it made things kind of weird because it just really did. It made things weird. It made landlords have to kind of stand up and make sure that their properties are up to par, and tenants, it kind of, it made them hold these landlords accountable. So it kind of did some good things, but right now it's a huge wave of evictions that's going on, and we're doing everything we can to get ahead of that for our clients, for the tenants. But if there's, like I said, we're partnered. If we can't do it, we're partnered with agencies that can assist. We are in Monroe County. We're pretty big. We have other satellite offices that cover other counties, but in Monroe County, we have, like I said, I keep going back to it because I didn't know until I started doing this work how much help was out there. I didn't know that that there's these agencies that do help with all this, and it's comforting because having gone through it many years ago, it's hard. You don't know what to do. You're scared. You don't know what's coming next. But knowing that there's agencies like us and we have other partnered agencies that can help navigate through and even prevent people from being homeless, prevent you from going without. It's a little bit of a safety net, and it gives me, it's for me at least, it's a safe. It's good to know that God forbid if I'm ever in a bind, I know where to go. So if you guys have any questions, feel free. That's pretty much it for eviction prevention.
Does anyone have any questions?
Kind of flew through that one too, but it's I don't want to say it's cut and dry because it's not. There's a lot of intricate parts to it, but it really is. You know, if you're facing eviction, give us a call. We'll give you, we'll make sure we get you the help you need.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Lynette, and I'll be sure to give, this information to the students. So thank you so much for presenting.
You're welcome, and you have my contact info. If any questions pop up or any situations, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you again. Have a
You're
great
welcome.
day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.